Okay, today I want to review two methods for thinking about multiplication. So when I have 2 times 3 is 6, I know that 2 and the 3 are called the factors. Those are the numbers that multiply to give us the answer, which in this case is 6. So one way to think about what multiplication means is through grouping. So 2 multiplied by 3 was first of all introduced to you as meaning 2 groups of 3 things. So you would take one group of 3 things, another group of 3 things, you now have 2 groups of 3 things, you'd add them up, and you'd notice that there was 6. And that's an understanding as to why the answer is 6. Another way to represent multiplication is through the area of a rectangle. If I have a 2 by 3 unit rectangle, 2 units, 3 units, the area of that rectangle will be 6 units. You can see the 6 squares. So the product can be thought of as the area of the rectangle, and the factors can be thought of as the dimensions. And that's always true. Now we can extend this idea to algebra. First of all, I just want to review the algebra tiles that you've worked with in the past and how they're represented. A tile that's 1 unit by 1 unit is what we call a 1 tile, okay, because its area is 1. All right. In terms of this next tile, it's 1 unit by x units, and x times 1, the area of it is x. So when I say an x tile, I'm talking about its area. And the last tile we use is a tile that's x units by x units, and the area to that is x squared, and that's an x squared tile. So you'll notice that all 3 of these tiles are different in shape. We use yellow tiles generally to represent a positive quantity, and red tiles to represent a negative. So this tile here would be a negative x squared tile, and that would basically mean that one of the dimensions was negative, okay? Because a positive times a negative is a negative. Alright, let's use an area model to represent the product of 3 and 2x plus 1. So I'm going to create a rectangle in which my length and width are 3 units by 2x plus 1 units. Okay, so the area that I'm going for here is the one just here that I'm outlining in green, okay, or black, depending how that's showing up. The tiles you see on the outside, the only reason they're there is to show me how much 3 units represents and how much 2x plus 1 units represent. So it's x by x plus 1 is 2x plus 1. Okay, and now what I need to do is I need to fill in the green rectangle to see what it's made up of. So I can, right there, that would fit in that spot there. Now I'm going to need to have a bunch more of these. And then the units here on the side, it's going to be 1 by 1 to fill in that spot. So I need a 1 tile. And so my area is the sum of all the parts inside of the red rectangle. I can see 6 x strips plus 3 extras. So 3 multiplied by 2x plus 1 must therefore be 6x plus 3. Now we know we can do this through distribution and get the same answer, but what I've just shown is a pictorial representation of what that means through the area of a rectangle. Okay, let's do one more example. I have here x plus 1 multiplied by x plus 3. So these are my dimensions. So on my rectangle that's going to be created, which is going to be right there, my dimensions are going to be x units plus 1 and x units plus 3. And so I need to fill in all of those sections with tiles. This time I'm just going to do it visually, so I'm just going to split it across there, just breaking it up at the split points. And I can see from my diagram that I have one large square, which is an x squared. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 x strips, and I have 3 1 tiles. And so the multiplication of x plus 1 times x plus 3 must be x squared plus 4x plus 3.